This is Neil's Own Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. And let's talk about DEI hires. We're going to go with DEI hires. This is an interesting story about a San Francisco, train driver that fell asleep on the job. You heard me right. Weird.
Look at this terrifying new video, a terrifying morning commute for some light rail passengers in San Francisco. Video from a September incident appears to show the driver falling asleep as the train picks up speed, tossing panicked passengers all around. Chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is in Los Angeles with more on that for us. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Sandra, not the kind of early morning commute anyone wants, and it could have been so much worse. It was in the middle of the rush hour, just after 8:30 in the morning, and the San Francisco light rail train was packed when passengers suddenly got thrown around as the train jolted on a curve, exiting a tunnel and traveling at around 50 miles per hour.
By the way, these curves, if they're going about 70 miles an hour, that train would have gone off of the tracks and straight into that oncoming car right there.
Driver was apparently asleep at the wheel, jerked awake and began applying the emergency brake, then blamed the braking system while trying to calm passengers.
Somebody told you to stop. I'm sorry. Relax. Stop. We didn't crash. Relax. It wouldn't stop. Relax. We're okay.
But a San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency investigation concluded, quote, a full inspection of the train's braking system confirmed that it performed as designed. Additional inspections of the trackway and related infrastructure found no mechanical or systems issues. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt in the incident. The SFMTA also says it is reinforcing training on the importance of watching for fatigue and reporting it. Not surprisingly, the train operator has been put on what officials call non-driving status. The commuter's grateful for that, Sandra.
Got it. Wow. Jonathan Hunt on that story for us. Crazy video.
Hey. What do you guys think? You think she should be put on, hey, what's up, Hunter? You think she should be put on non-driving status, or should she be fired? You have the lives of about 50 people that you're responsible for in a vehicle that can kill them and others, and you're so diligent in your job, you fell asleep. Wow. I think she should be fired personally, but that's just my personal opinion. That happened in San Francisco, my backyard. Actually, it's about 35 miles away. This next story is going to be about something that happened 25 miles away, because a lot of things happen here in California. Why not, right? It's California. A lot of things happen in California. Let's see. Let me get this scene enlarged. The volume up for y'all. And start the program.
Well, an active Department of Justice investigation is underway right now into violent riots outside a Turning Point USA event this week at UC Berkeley. The senior correspondent Claudia Cowan is live for us in Sausalito, California. Claudia.
Sausalito. That's also in my
federal investigation involving the Joint Terrorism Task Force and the FBI is looking now into whether Cal violated civil rights laws when the campus allowed this violent protest.
Okay, I can tell you right now, guys, I have built, as a matter of fact, that Walgreens right there, right above where my cursor is, across the street, there's a building. I built it 15 years ago. I've been in that city for many years. And I can tell you right now, there's no need for an investigation. They intentionally put conservatives at risk. Intentionally. I've seen it with my own eyes.
To take place Monday night ahead of a Turning Point USA event featuring conservative speakers Rob Schneider and Frank Turek.
What's up, William?
The DOJ says it has concerns about security measures and the presence of what they're calling Antifa, a designated terrorist organization known for targeting right-leaning speakers and events, including at Cal, Ann Coulter and Ben Shapiro, and onerous security conditions forced the late David Horowitz to cancel his event at Cal in 2017, challenges the DOJ says liberal speakers do not have to face at the publicly funded university.
UC Berkeley has a history of treating conservative speakers brought to the campus by students differently than other kinds of speakers. And where that occurs, that's an equal protection issue. That's a First Amendment violation. And where it results in this type of violence and harm to property and people, it's deeply concerning. It could be criminal in nature as well as civil. So that's among the things that we're looking at.
For several hours Monday night, protesters hurled rocks, bottles, and lit flares and heckled ticket holders waiting to get inside, prompting some to leave. Now, the DOJ says that raises legal issues, too. A statement just out from Governor Gavin Newsom's office says, quote, violence is not a legitimate exercise of First Amendment rights. While people have the right to protest, it must be done peacefully. But activists were handing out this flyer ahead of the event, calling for bold, angry displays of protest. So clearly the university knew what was coming. The administration says it condemns the violence and will hold anyone accountable who broke the law.
Well, see, now that's the funny thing. They say they're going to hold anyone accountable who breaks the law. But what, apparently you guys wouldn't know this because you're not here. Berkeley has been hiring Chinese professors that are anti-American, and they push anti-American sentiment and leftist liberal viewpoints. And they got a lot of people in their upper echelon of their administration there at Berkeley that are totally anti-American and not even American citizens, teaching American citizens how to be stupid. And that's what's going on down there right now. Okay, now William, any news on CLRMF? They're still doing their drilling. Their stock price did double, but then it came back down. They're on the same path. They're not getting off the path they're on. They will be mining platinum next year. Continue, in my perspective, to acquire that because it will be worth it, because they will be paying dividends for every share you have. And right now, if you're getting them at 4 cents a share, when they start paying dividends after they convert over to a actual platinum mining company, which they did the paperwork timely the beginning part of this year to convert over from an exploration company to a mining company. And when that happens, they'll actually be able to mine, and their price is going to go up. Right now, they're keep finding more platinum in their drilling. So their drilling has gone on a little bit longer. It's been extended more than it should have at the beginning. But that's actually a good thing, because that means they're finding more veins of platinum in this area that they're looking for, which means it's a lot more platinum there, higher grade than in South Africa, closer to the surface too. Let's see, the rest part of your question. Do you think Alberta will secede Canada? I think what's going to happen is whatever is best for America, Canada will do, because we give them $200 billion a year so that they can exist to be a country. If America did not pay Canada $200 billion a year, they would not have the finances to stay as an independent country. They don't earn enough off of their taxes to run their own country. They are a subsidiary of America, and without our money, they will disappear. So whatever America wants them to do, they'll end up, they'll go that way. Will Alberta secede? Most likely. When will they become American? Eventually. All of Canada within the next 100 years will be America. Greenland will be America. It's expansion. This is how it is. It's expansion through war or peacetime. It's going to be expansion. We're an expansionist nation. Every country's an expansionist nation. They want to gain more, gain more, gain more. As soon as you stop gaining, you become stagnant, you get taken over. So we are an expansionist nation. Last year, we got 3 sizes of Texas land added to our property in the Pacific Ocean. And oddly enough, after we added that land to our nation, we discovered these little bitty rocks that create oxygen and nitrogen 2,000 meters under the sea. 80% of them are on U.S. soil. So, when you go to GDP of America, we haven't tapped that resource yet. They're still doing scientific studies on it. We probably won't be tapping that resource for 3-5 years. And then we're going to start making money off of that resource. So that's going to increase our GDP. But hold on, wait. if we're going to fucking die as a country because we don't know how to look forward and we didn't expand and get this extra land for this purpose, then why did we get the land for that purpose? Critical thinking helps. Yeah, we're going to get Canada. It's just a matter of when. Let's see. Who else had a question here? There's another one about Berkeley. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of problems with banks. Actually, I just heard of another bank collapsing this morning. Yes, we do share a relationship with the truth there, William. Yeah, exploration, Daryl. They're still in the exploration phase. William asks, is it unlikely CLRMF gets bought by a larger mining company? It is not possible because there are 3 billionaires that sunk their money into this, and to be a billionaire, you got to look at profit margin. Okay, it's going to be a very, very profitable mine. Why would they sell it for small chump change when they can keep it for 20 or 30 years and it's a cash cow? Because those 3 billionaires own it, and who those 3 billionaires are, they're not going to sell it. They can finance the whole damn thing themselves. They don't need anybody's money. They're being sweet and polite and kind, allowing you and I to invest in it because they could fully fund that mine and keep it private. If that's legal. I don't know if that's legal. I have not checked into that. Yeah, they've got, Gerald's talking about Canadians or Canada's tariffs on us. I've been screaming about that. There's like a 76% tariff on Maine lobsters when on the other side of the bay where they get those lobsters from, because it was caught by an American. It's called the tariff. It's unfair. They've been doing it to us for years. Without tariffing us, they're not a country. Like I said earlier, they have to get $200 billion a year off of America to maintain staying a country. They are not going to do that. Yeah, I saw my right up here. It said connection was a little weird, but now it's gone back. But yeah, they tariff the hell out of us because they need $200 billion American money to stay. I can't say sovereign because we're paying for them to be a country. But yeah, Canada will eventually be America. There's no way around it because with all the cutting back that we're doing. I mean, you look at our debt. Okay, if we give them $200 billion a year, that means every 5 years we give them $1 trillion with nothing coming back. So in 5 years they get $1 trillion, 10 years, $2 trillion, 20 years, $4 trillion. Could we take that $4 trillion off of our debt? If we were like really wanted to pay the debt off, yeah, what would happen to Canada? They would dissolve this country and be absorbed by America. So as much as people hate America, hate our taxes, hate everything, you know, if you're an American, oh God, you're Satan incarnate. Well, check this out. Cool. We run the world, guys. And America's not going anywhere anytime soon. With the moves that we just made, we are guaranteed ourselves to be the #1 nation on the third planet from the rock called Earth, Terra. We're going to be the leader of that world for 300 to 400 more years. I tell you guys, new tech's coming. New tech's coming. I'm not bullshitting. And that new tech, part of that new tech was micro nuclear reactors. And look how they're doing. No other country's doing that. Sweden has one. We have 5 companies doing it. Oh, here's another thing for all you people who think that space is a bunch of lies. This is the way America's going. We're downsizing our massive government expenditures. They're going to be downsized. That means there's going to be cuts in services. Are those services going to go away? No, they're going to be privatized. The co-founder of Ripple, you know, XRP, He sold about 7 years ago, got $2.2 billion, caused a big ruckus. XRP price crashed when he sold. You know what he's building? He plans on making more money off of what he's building than off of XRP. $2.2 billion worth of shares he had. He believes he's going to make more money doing what he's doing now than he would have keeping XRP. So what's that? Or, hold on, wait. He's a lying, stupid son of a gun, and he should have stayed in XRP because that's where all the money's going to be. Okay, cool. Again, government spending. GDP. Debt. Privatization of space. The co-founder of Ripple, when he sold his $2.2 billion worth of XRP 7 or 8 years ago, started building the replacement for the International Space Station because he sees the advantageousness of having it rented out to countries. There is also 2 other private individuals building space stations. Yeah, so we're going to have 3 privately owned, internationally used space stations up there, not owned by NASA, not owned by China, not owned by Russia, but owned by the guy who sold out from XRP to do it, some Russian dude, and I don't know who the third person is. I haven't researched it. There's going to be 3 private space stations, privately owned. That tells you private industry is going to be taking over a lot of public surfaces because America wasn't willing to throw 20% of our budget at space, so we had to make it profitable. So we're privatizing space. Look at Astroforge. Dude's going to be making $60 million off of a one-time $15 million investment to go get some platinum from outer space. Brings back $60 million worth of platinum. He's got $45 million profit margin, and the other $15 million pays for another asteroid trip to get him another $60 million in platinum. So for a business model, one-time investment, $15 million, consecutive return for decades of $60 million, $45 million every year, 2 years. Holy shit. Privatization of space is looking highly profitable and lucrative for those that have the critical thinking to see what's going on. Let me get back to the chat here. Long-term success of the U.S. depends personal responsibility of individuals building perpendicular. The good news is that the cornerstones already established truth. Yeah, God blessed America, so definitely truth there. Canada is not helping their citizens. Of course not, they're not helping their citizens because it's in time. They're obligated to do what the hell we tell them. Because it's like this. If you live in a house next to me and you have to borrow money from me to pay your mortgage and you do that for 20 years, do you not feel that you are subsidiary to me and obligated to doing what I want? I paid your house and everybody knows. Well, excuse me, you guys don't know it. But all the important people, money people know that, well, I paid for your house. Money came out of my pocket to pay for your house. You're going to do what I say. And you're not going to put a Chinese missile silo there because I paid for the house. That's America and Canada. America is paying for Canada $200 billion a year. The reason why we allow all the tariffs is so they can get that money so they can continue to be a country. Because without us very generously allowing them to take $200 billion a year in tariffs, for which, by the way, America pays when a foreign country tariffs us. So how the fuck can we pay when we tariff another country? Think about it. Think about it. They tariff us, we pay. We tariff them, we pay. What? What fucking college you go to? What fucking college you go to? You think that's the reality of life? No, that's not the reality of life. When other countries tariff us, we pay. We lose our auto industry. You remember a company called Ford, Pontiac? Where the hell are they in Germany? Where are they in Europe? Where are they in Australia? Where are they in Greenland? Where are they in China? Where are they anywhere in the fucking world but America? Okay, what about Audi, BMW, VW, Porsche, Saab, all in America, all foreign company owned cars. Tariffs, all from those countries on America, costing us jobs, costing our families to lose our houses, costing us food in our mouths when they tariff us. So now people are going to try and convince you that if we tariff them back, we're also going to pay for that as well. What in the fuck economic system double penalizes one entity as it needs that one entity to continue forward? It's not at all. That's not how it works at all. Anyone who believes that's a freaking idiot. Right off the bat, you don't know how to think. It's like me telling you I'm going to pay you to mow my lawn. You mow the lawn, and then I get $10 from you for mowing my lawn. How the fuck can you stay in business? That's what people are trying to sell you on America tariffing others. That's not how it works. How it works is, hey, since the tariff started, RAM, it's now in Australia because of tariffs from America on Australia. They broke and are allowing Dodge Ram to be sold in Australia. Do you think that benefits the Australian worker or the American auto industry hiring American workers? Sounds like that one tariff is increasing jobs here in America, increasing pay here in America, and giving us exports here in America. That's how tariffs work. Let's see. I'm not too, I'm looking at William's. I wish I could highlight it, but I'm on YouTube, so I can't highlight it. But William had a comment here. It could be a department from the book of Daniel, chapter 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream. You guys know about that? Yeah. America's not mentioned in the Bible, but they do think that the mysterious Babylon is us. Hey, that's quick. Mysterious Babylon could be referring to America, but there's no actual like Israel or Egypt or any other country that's mentioned in the Bible. America is not mentioned in the Bible. So there's a lot of theological theories and speculations on the mysterious Babylon, which is mentioned in the Bible in Revelations, being America. And also there's a reference to the eagle, the bear, and the dragon. And there's speculation the eagle is America, the dragon is Russia, and the bear is Russia, and the dragon is China. But that's speculation because it's not stated America, Russia, and China. But those countries weren't even known about back then. So, when that book was written, half that book was written, China was known about. America definitely wasn't known about. According to our history books, anyhow. According to the Vikings history books, it was known about. And that's why I say when you're looking at economics, now in this unique time in history, because we have this thing called BRICS. People broke away from SWIFT. So you've got competition, i.e. economic war. So here's an economic war. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. Okay, so how is America reacting to the BRICS? BRICS came up with a big bam, hit us on the chin. Where's our hit to them on the chin? SWIFT 2.0 ISO 222, November 22nd. That's our answer to them. Become knowledgeable about that, and you'll become a little wealthier than most people. Because we do have a SWIFT 2.0. It's a reorganized from everyone who broke away from SWIFT because of how it was used under the last administration. The whole world got together and said, hey, fix this shit. Biden said, no, we're going to use it the way I want to. So the world said, okay, we're going to start BRICS. Fuck you. Now we got another president. He's like, nah, that's not American policy. We're going to do it this way. We're going to revitalize BRICS, working with y'all on a worldwide digital currency system of several crypto that are unilaterally accepted by every country for fast international transactions for business. We're going to call it SWIFT 2.0. It's going to have different rules and regulations, so that way it can't be used as weaponized against certain individuals. Only can be used to the way SWIFT was supposed to be used for not a broad scale punishing of countries, but individual countries like, say, Iran, who's going for nuclears, nuclear missiles, we could, sanction them and not sanction, 27 other countries at the same time, which is what happened with Biden. So SWIFT 2.0 is coming around, and in accordance with ISO 20022. Again, as I've said over the last several live streams, the American government tells you what we're going to do. It would be advantageous to find out and smart to invest in it. Just saying, because I know America doesn't do what it says it's going to do all the time, but we always win. So bet in America. So when America tells you what they're going to do, listen. I've given several examples. Another one right here, SWIFT 2.0 hasn't been enacted yet. ISO 222, I've been talking that for about a year. Okay. After this month, you'll be aware of them. You'll be like, what are they? Oh, this freaky dude named Neil who's got no teeth and wears glasses and talks shit on YouTube talked about it, but I thought he was just a dumbass. Okay, cool. Look into it. It behooves you to look into it. Yes, William, the truth does remain consistent, and that's why I keep telling it. Let's see here. William, could the apartment dues, could gold and silver, etc. There's going to be digital gold in this digital system, but you're going to have it backed by and BRICS actually was the first format for the SWIFT 2.0. They did a layout. We looked at it, said that's screwed. It's messed up here. We refined their system. Boom, SWIFT 2.0. Everyone's going to love it. Let's see, on the new rail, centralized, decentralized, value will be flowing internationally. Yes, and that's where the SWIFT, it's going to be the biggest wealth transfer, as they say, and everyone's going, where's it at? Where's it at? Well, here, check this out. 2020, we had 600 billionaires. 2020, COVID year. 2020, 600 billionaires. How many do we have now? 800 billionaires. How did we gain 200 billionaires in the past 5 years with such economic pain? Someone did some smart investing, and the people that made money watched those 200 become billionaires instead of saying, hey, look over here at the Clinton thing. Look over here at Epstein Island. Look over here at the aliens. Well, while they were doing that, 200 individuals were saying, yeah, you guys keep looking over there. I'm going to make $1 billion. And they did. So in the past 5 years, we have historical evidence of how to make money. Don't watch TV. Pat. Hey, Pat Evans. How's it going, bro? I didn't see you come in there. Yes, the government has voted to open up. They're finalizing at 79, just as I told people a couple of days ago before it actually happened. I was like, nah, government's open up. How did I know the government's going to open up? Because I'm a dumbass, uneducated high school dropout that's been an iron worker in the Army. That's how I it's all the Ivy League college shit that I didn't do makes me smart. Or I listen to what the government says and I take my emotions out of it. I take my feelings out of it and I read black and white, natural, American spirit. It doesn't say, in God we trust, you'll give me all your money and pray to Satan. No, right here in these words, it says natural American, because I read exactly what they say. The lies start coming when you listen to what other people say they are saying. And they elaborate it, and they'll put colorful words on it, so you'll spend more time watching the show. Grab the damn paperwork and read it yourself. It's in black and white. The government is legally obligated to give it to every citizen. 99% of us are dumbasses. Hey, what about Epstein? Hey, what about Bush? Hey, what about water? Hey, what about oil? Hey, what about aliens? Pop, 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 pop. You're poor. That's how that works. That's why I don't like drama. I'm talking drama, irrelevant shit on my channel. I'm here to bring you guys up to speed on how to be a billionaire. I'm going to be one. Maybe not. No, it'll be a billionaire. I might be dead, but my company will be a billionaire. Because I'm going to build something that lasts longer than me. It's called Living Trust. Let's see, get back to the comments here. Yeah, pretty much, Tom. It was for the people. Now, see, here's the funny thing: a lot of TSA agents and a lot of com controllers quit. They're not getting paid. The ones that stayed working, they'll get paid. So the 42-day paid vacation, and hope like fuck they didn't get another job, because if they got another job, they won't get paid. Like during the Biden era, where they said, "Oh, go home. We got COVID. No one's coming to work," and people kept collecting their government paychecks. And then they got second jobs during the same work hours as they were getting the second paycheck from the government. That's documentation. That's a felony. Jail time coming. I remember about 3 years ago, I told you guys, Geo Group. Warren Buffett's invested in Geo Group. Geo Group makes money off of throwing people in jail. Everyone during COVID that worked for the government, that got a second job while they were getting paid by the government to stay at home, committed a felony, and eventually it's going to be going to jail. And they're going to cry and they're going to say, "Oh, but I'm a liberal and I was only taking advantage of everyone and increasing the debt and all this other stuff. Take care of me. Fuck you." Okay, cool. You took care of you. Fuck us. Now it's time for you to go to jail. Consequences, bro. Actions have consequences. William, that's Nebuchadnezzar's outlook on it. Let me see if I can't find this video real fast to show you guys why the hell I don't give a frill about gold. How to make gold in a fusion reactor. I'm Googling right now so I can get it straight from Google. Okay, oh, this is fun. It actually gave it to me. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a straight Google. I love this shit. This is straight from Google. Quick question. Here are the results for how to make gold in a fusion reactor. To make gold, it doesn't say you can't. It doesn't say you can't. It says to make gold in a fusion reactor, high energy neutrons from the fusion process are used to bombard mercury-198, transforming it into a radioactive isotope called mercury-197. Within a few days, mercury-197 decays into stable gold-197. Read that, peeps. Read that. And it within a few days, the mercury-197 decays into a stable gold-197. Can you read that? That's just telling you right now, you don't need lead to make gold. You need a micronuclear reactor. And guess what America's building a lot of? Do you think we're going to have gold? Oh, it's a good thing you got Neil here telling you don't buy this shit. Yeah, it's radioactive, but hey, you know what? 8,000 tons of gold in Fort Knox has been there for 50 years. And if it hasn't, we can put it back and it'll be radioactive for 50 years. We're not going to take it anyhow. Guaranteed you're not going to take it if it's radioactive, but it'll still be in the vault and we can make it. We don't have to dig it. So, you know, gold's overrated, people. Seriously, it's overrated. You're reading it right there. To make gold in a fusion reactor, high energy neutrons from the fusion process are used to bombard mercury-198, transforming it into a radioactive isotope called mercury-197. Within a few days, the mercury-197 decays into stable gold-197. Let's make ourselves some gold. Quiet. It didn't say you could make platinum or silver or crystallized osmium. And that's why I say buy silver, platinum, crystallized osmium. Fuck gold. It's everywhere. You can make it. You make it. It's not rare. Sorry, I had to get some milk for my tea because it was just sitting there without any milk and I couldn't drink it, and I can't have that. So, Earl Grey with honey and cinnamon. But yeah, anyhow, so if you're going to invest in, like, I don't know, NME or OKLO, invest in them, and then write their founders and say, hey, could you line the liner with mercury isotope 188 so we can get some gold out of this shit too and double profit margin from it? See what they say. Yeah, I'm not into religion that much, William, to trace down genealogy and whatnot. I just believe God's my Lord and Savior, and I'm here to serve Him, and it's that simple. I don't overcomplicate things. I mean, the history is nice to know and whatnot, but I practice being kind, helpful, and grateful. Being American, fighting evil in my neighborhood, and that's how I show people what the results of Christianity are. And people love me, man. I'll go to any house on this block and they'll be like, it doesn't matter their religion, personal beliefs, political affiliations, each and every one of them will tell you, Neil is one of the most honest, trustworthy people out there. And if I had one person to be on a desert island with, I'd want it to be Neil. I got a shirt my neighbors made me called Neil Burhood Watch. Not Neighborhood Watch, Neil Burhood Watch. They made that for me 4 years ago. I'm still the same person doing the same thing. You get recognition by your works, your deeds. It takes a lot longer because you're not self-promoting, but it pays off in the long run in heaven. I'm not a superhero. I'm actually a piece of shit. Everyone else is just worse than me when you should be better than me, because I'm a worse Christian. Iron worker, divorced home, reformed alcoholic. Yeah, don't make the best Christian. Everyone should be doing better than me. Y'all have better life conditions than I did. So therefore, you should be better Christians. But then again, it also shows it doesn't matter what life you have. It's a personal choice of how you're going to be. Yeah, the more complicated you make it, the more drama there is. Just keep it simple, stupid. That's the way the military taught me. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. There's less complication. Just be kind, helpful, grateful. Drive on. Do what you can where you're at while you're there. Yeah, crypto sector's fixing to bounce. And it's going to bounce because of Swift 2. November 22nd, Swift 2.0. Gerald, Dr. M. Well, William, you got to get it to the masses. If you overcomplicate it, you're going to lose their attention level, and then you're not going to get them. Not everyone can understand the complications of the theology of religion. Because if you really want to get into theology, look at the Egyptian Bible. It was around in 2 BC AD. The first written book of the Bible didn't come around until 400 AD. So the Ethiopians were actually taking on Christians who were being persecuted by Rome during the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th century before Christianity got its start in Europe. Perspective. Are they selling us a European perspective of the Bible? Probably. Because if you read the Ethiopian Bible, it pretty much says you don't need a religion. You just need a place of gathering, and that's not a religion. And man took it, manipulated it, can make some money off of it, and put it out there as religion. All of them. Do you think Martin Luther in the 16th century, when he put his edict up on the church door saying we're breaking away from Catholicism and starting our own religion? Was that Jesus inspired? Jesus said, no, Catholicism is not the way I want to go. And then you got Mormonism. Mormonism comes around in the 1800s. What, did Jesus come down there and say, no, everyone else is wrong, we want Mormonism? I mean, you can really get deep into theology if you want. It takes a lifetime of wanting and learning to not know. Basically, when the end day comes, you still won't know. You just have a lot more information, still won't know. So keep it simple. There's the rest of the big life out there, man-made, that we have to live in that gives us more than enough problems. So just keep the religious part simple. Be kind, helpful, grateful. God is king. Do I believe in God? I've never not believed in God. Never known a day in my life where I didn't know God. Matter of fact, one of my earliest memories was in 1971. I was 3 years old, and my dad just bought the house at 230 Payne Road, P-A-Y-N-E Road, in Navy Point, Pensacola, Florida. And it was elevated a lot so that the dirt and the grass went down like that to the gutter area and then the road. So it's like elevated 3 foot, but there was like a slant to it. And we had 2 pine trees. We had a corner lot. We had 2 pine trees, and they had this concrete road sign. In the 70s, they had concrete road signs they painted white. And I remember at 3 years old, I was laying back looking up at the sky, envisioning it opening up, and then chariots coming down. And I envisioned it as being the God's army coming down. And I said, I'm in that. That's where I want to be. I was 3. I've never been born again because I never didn't believe to have to be born again. A lot of people don't understand that. If you're born again, that means you strayed. What happens if you don't stray? No reason to be born again, is there? Simple truth. Very few people out there don't need to be born again because they held the faith for 57 years, going on 58. And I will get rewarded. And I could care less if it's on this planet. We're only here for maybe 100 years max, 120 if we take some cool drugs and eat some good fish or whatever. Yeah, the next 500 billion trillion million millennial, you're going to be in heaven. So save your rewards for there. There'll be more longevity. And that's why I'm unemployed. I get fired for not liking Palestinians fucking pulling people out of the houses and blowing their heads off. And I get fired for not liking that here in America as a war vet. You see me going crazy? You see me with my PTSD kicking off? Yeah. Justice works slow, baby. It'll happen. I will get my compensation. Yep. When was the Dead Sea Scrolls found? 1970, 60, 50, somewhere around there. I don't know. I don't even know when the Dead Sea Scrolls were found recently. It changed the Bible. A couple words, but it still changed it. And if we get lucky and find some more scriptures, eventually, when we look and we come across them, it'll change the Bible. One thing it won't change is your belief in God and you being kind, helpful, and grateful. And just do it. Keep it simple, stupid. 10 commandments and belief in God. Be kind, helpful, grateful. 10 commandments, believe in God. Not that simple. Now, if you want to get into deep theologian discussions, a friend of mine who's since retired is retired as a lifelong pastor. Tony Newhouse. He's up in Wyoming right now. He's a pastor for 25, 30 years. Good friend of mine and my old pastor. Still call him. He's the one who stuck he went to Israel and he stuck my prayer in the Wailing Wall when I actually was able to talk to God. So I know he's right in the Holy Spirit. And he's the one I discuss theology with because he's been to Mount Zion. He's studied the old scrolls. He's done more in-depth study than anyone I've met online. And no one I've met online will be able to convince me otherwise. because I've spoke with Tony. We've had long conversations, and I am very assured where I'm going when I die, no matter how much of an asshole I am here on Earth, or perceived by others to be an asshole. And that's another thing. Since we're talking about stablecoins, Gerald's mentioned stablecoins. If you look at the history of America in 1886, that's when we stopped states from minting their own money. 1886, about 150 years ago, we stopped them from minting their own money. When we're going into the digital economy, as Gerald just said, Wyoming's minting their own stablecoin. They're minting their own money. States will be minting their own money. What does that mean for us? The world's going to end. Let's not talk about it. It's going to end. We're going to die. Cryptocurrency is a lie, blah, 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 blah. Or you can actually, be realistic and say, okay, when in history has this happened before? Oh, before 1886. Let's go back and look at that. Let's see what happened in that time period. Let's see how much money we can make, how much advantage we can take of it. Then we can talk about, after we got our strategy and how we're going to be billionaires, then we can say, oh no, the world's going to die. Cryptocurrency is going to kill us all, and aliens are going to come down and abduct us and do anal probes and whatever you want to believe. The difference being, do the solid thing first and make some good investments, then go off on your tangents. Silver Rudger, sorry, I didn't see you come in there. How's it going, bro? Yes, 100%, Silver Rugger. There's no other way to do it. He says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. If that's how, because I've always said, your relationship with God, it's personal. I don't have your relationship with God. I can't tell you what your direction in God's view is for your life. I know what my direction is for my life with the Lord. Now, this is where we get in theological discussions, and it drives people crazy. Walls of Jericho. It's in the Bible. Walk around the walls, blow horns, walls come down, kill every man, woman, child, and animal in the city that doesn't bear the sign of God for salvation. So that should tell you God's got warriors that kill in his name. If you can't believe that, you might not be a Christian. At least a whole viewing of Christian. Yes, you're not going to fight Satan with toothbrushes. So let's get off religion, because everyone's got their own perspective. And let's get back on to making money. See, Nebraska Crypto Bank. There you go. Another state coming up with their stable coin, just like pre-1886. Pre-1886. One thing that comes to mind when I say that. No Federal Reserve, no income tax. We ran our country off tariffs. What's happening right now? Trump wants to get rid of the Fed, the IRS, and run the company off tariffs. States are doing their own money again. 1886, 1886, 1886, 1886 in 2025. Look in that direction. See if you can't make some money. You see the trend that's coming? I just laid it out to you. It's a repeat of the pre-1886 economy in digital format in the 2020s, 2030s, 2040s, 2050s, 2060s, up until the 2070s. Then it'll change. How do I know this? I read history. And history rhymes, if not repeats. We're fixing to go back into a pre-1886 economy, brought up to speed to the 2020s, 2030s economical theories. States are going to be printing their own money. Money's going to be called stablecoin. Okay, still printing their own money. Okay, what else happened back then? States competed for you. Come live in my state. My schools are better. Our pay is better. Our houses are better. Our taxes are lower. You have 50 states that are going to be competing for residents, giving you better jobs, better living conditions, better infrastructure, lower taxes. I just gave you the future, people. That's what's coming. What is this? This is being recorded. We'll go back to it in a year and see if I was right or not. I am. See, yeah, do your own research, as Gerald just said there. It's all about do your own research. I'll tell you stuff. If you think I'm bullshitting, do your own research. If you like it, do your own research. No matter what, do your own research. Because my calls have been pretty good over the past 3 years. If we were to go back and watch my very, very first video I ever did on YouTube, I made a prediction that there would be no CDBC before 2025. And I gave a reason for that. And it was because the LBMA is not sophisticated enough to be able to accept one, much less create one. And they would not be in a position to do so until at least 2026. That was 3.5 years ago. It's 100% true. I told the future 3.5 years ago. Or I just read the paperwork of what these countries got going on. And I said, there's no way in hell that they'll be able to logistically handle this in that short a period of time. So therefore, it's bullshit. And for 3 years, I've heard people, CDBC, we're going to get CBDC, we're going to get CBDC. You know what happens when you keep saying, I'm gonna run into a wall, I'm gonna run into a wall, I'm gonna run into a wall. You're gonna fucking run into a wall. You're gonna run into a fucking wall. Quit saying it. There's not gonna be a CDBC. There's not. Or you want to call a government token coin a CDBC? Okay, but they're not going to control your spending like a CDBC. They're not, let me just rephrase it. They're not going to, a government, a federal, U.S. federal government coin, crypto coin, token, whatever you want to call it, will not be the CDBC that Nigeria had and it failed. China is currently using and it's failing. Venezuela tried it and it's failing. And 2 other countries in this world tried it and it failed. 5 different social experiments of CDBC in all different regimes of governments, socialism, communism, free countries, monarchies, dictatorships, all failed. But yet there's idiots out there to say, oh, we're going to get a CDBC, we're going to get a CDBC, we're going to get a CDBC. It's like a bobblehead. Boom! Hit them motherfuckers. They stupid. You're going to be poor because you don't know how to think. You don't know how to research. You don't know how to do your own research. Did I go to college to find out that Nigeria's CDBC was a miserable failure with less than 0.5% of their country using it after the government mandated it by law? Only 0.5% used the CDBC. And yet Americans are stupider than Nigerians. Yeah, we are. We don't go out and genocide 6,000 Christians a weekend like they do in Nigeria. We're so much more sophisticated. There's going to be no CDBC. I said it 3.5 years ago on my very first video. You can go look at it. It still holds true today. Just as like what I'm saying today will hold true in 3 years because the government said so. And guess what? The government runs things. Holy shit. What a crystal ball to have. The government. They tell us everything. You just got to know where to look and not look at Epstein, China, CDBC, aliens, blue swan, red herring, purple doll. Focus, critical thinking, focus. Get your shit in order. This is a wealth transfer. In the past 5 years, we made 200 billionaires. More in the shorter period of time than ever before in history. Why? Oh, they're just lucky. Nah, they don't know what's going on. Is that what you think? You're going to be poor the rest of your fucking life. What's up, Shovel Monkey? It's still morning where you're at. It's almost noon here, and I'm on the West Coast. You must be in Hawaii or... Ooh. Nope. Hawaii would be the only place you could be at. It would be 8 o'clock or anything other than that. You'd be in Indonesia, and it would be tomorrow morning. Excuse me. Yeah, and that's going to change, Gerald. Have you ever heard of the big box stores closing down? You see what's happening to the malls, the open malls. As a matter of fact, I just saw a show yesterday where they suggested if you have the money, start buying up these open malls and turn them into housing. You'll be rich. The government said that. Anyone want to go out there and finance a mall and convert it to indoor housing with an indoor private, indoor secure courtyard before you get out to a private parking spot, all already pre-built? All you got to do is redesign it inside and sell it or rent it. Oh, trust me, banks will lend you money for that because that is the future that they want. So they will lend to those people that come up with those ideas. If you come up with an idea of the future they don't want, you're not getting the loan. Wow, is that how it works? Unless they're guaranteed, unless they think you're going to fail and they're going to make a lot of money off your failure, then they'll give you the loan because you're going to fail. So, okay, Sebastopol, what else is up there? North of Sebastopol by about 15 miles. Ocala? Oh, I got to look at the map. It's a Russian, well, it's not a Russian town. It's obviously in America. But it's a mostly populated by Russians. It's up wow, it's not showing it on this map. Sebastopol, where are you at, Sebastopol? Bodega, Sebastopol, Grant Forest. Okay, no, it's not showing it. Huh. Woodsley, Tinton, Forstall, Ross, Granton, Barlow, Mills, Sebastopol, Lano. It's Ocala or Oscala. It's a small little settlement, mostly of Russians, along that river, just north of Sebastopol. If you go up, I think it's High School Road, and then you go towards, Occidental. That's it, Occidental. It's not Ocala, it's Occidental. The town of Occidental. Do you know that town? Shovel Monkey, excuse me. Occidental. No, I was looking at a map because I was trying to think of the name Occidental. There's a town up there. It's not located on the map called Occidental. It's north of Sebastopol. I have a friend that lives in Sebastopol. Mike, what's his last name? Hopkins. Mike Hopkins. If you live in Sebastopol, he's lived there for 30 years. Oh, it's a tourist trap now? I actually picked up a hitchhiker back in 2002, 2003. And I was going up to Sebastopol, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going up to Occidental." And she had a heavy Russian accent. Fine ass girl. We passed by Sebastopol and went up this rinky-dink old road, dropped her off at her house. There was a Russian beekeeper across the street from her I spoke with for a while. Yes, ISO. Gotta look at that. I thought I typed that in. And yes, I am stoned. And I got a kitty. This is Pumpkin. Pumpkin, say hello, Pumpkin. Pumpkin says, "Screw you, I'm napping." This is Pumpkinhead. Then I got Sweet Tart, has a little gray and white heart on her side. I know that has nothing to do with weed. I was going to move her so I could show you the weed, but she's asleep on the leg, so I don't want to move her. But anyhow, yeah, that's future of investing. Be smart with your money. Don't think about things that other people are talking about. Confirm everything. Talk to you later, Gerald. Do your own research, but I'm telling you, man, check into Swift 2.0 and ISO 222. If you don't, It's not like you won't have a chance to. This is like bragging rights buy-in time. In a year, you'll still be able to buy in and you'll have it at a low price. But you can get ahead of the game if you look at it now and start investing. I suggest XLM, Algo, HBAR, and ZBCN when it comes to the crypto that's going to be used as money for the world. Countries will still have their own individual bills because countries' monetary system money is their sovereignty. And as the videos I did on Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traoré, they aren't giving up their sovereignty. They're going. As a matter of fact, they kicked out the euro franc and they came up with their own money because they know that money is their freedom and sovereignty of their nation, and they don't want to be slaves. So you're still going to have money, but your crypto is going to be. See you later, William. It's going to be international trade settlement type stuff. You'll be able to use it domestically as well, but there's still going to be a dollar bill. Too many homeless people lost their phones for the WL crypto. Matter of fact, they're counting on a lot of people not being able to use crypto because that leaves the room for more of us to make money who can use it. If you are homeless, and you have one of these, it gets stolen from you. So someone else can sell it, buy something with it. No, I have heard the name, but I haven't watched him. I like going on my own road. I haven't. If someone has a like-minded thought process as me as a YouTube show, I have not watched them because I don't want to have someone say, "Oh, well, he told you that." He don't know. I'm coming up with this all on my own. I'm figuring this out as a dumb 10th grade dropout. Joined the military, went to war, got stupid for a couple of years on drugs and alcohol, and then became an iron worker. Been an iron worker ever since. Not going to college. I have my own perspective, my own understanding, and I've been right for 3.5 years with my calls. Who do I pay attention to? World Platinum Council. Why do I pay attention to them? Because they pay attention to me, and I retort. I give them the respect. They like knowing what I'm doing, so I like knowing what they're doing. I already know what they're doing, but I like them telling me because I do my own research. How do they know what they're doing? They do their own research, and then they do it. In doing that research, they do a paper trail. I'm right up on that paper trail, so I know what they're doing, and I speculate what's going to happen. And I've been right. So I get them sending me, as a matter of fact, let's change subjects here. I want to get back to what I was getting on before. Hey, there's Pumpkinhead. This is, I've been telling people for about a year that manufacturing, America's going to be a manufacturing nation. It's a fact. Deny it all you want. Don't listen to me. Pretend I'm a lying piece of crap. It's a fact. Invest your money in manufacturing right now because it's only going to grow market cap as money flows into it. Here's my evidence.
We have about 400,000 people that we need. Right this morning at Ford, we had 6,000.
So Ford needs 400,000 skilled manufacturers. 400,000 for one company. And they need them right now, and they don't have them.
Stalls that were open with no mechanics in them to fix our vehicles.
If I had like one of those big red bells in a fire department, I'd hit it with a hammer. I'd ring the alarm. This is it.
Mike Rowe and Ford CEO Jim Farley giving America a chilling warning. Train the workforce for manufacturing now, or China will expand and build nearly everything that we consume.
How many of you, put one in the chat if you've ever heard me say we're going to be a manufacturing nation, and I keep pushing that point.
And a new report shows that if the U.S. doesn't change course, the country will be almost 2 million manufacturing jobs short by 2033. So I'm going to come to the youngest person on the panel, which I think is you, Karine, and ask you this. We keep talking about Mike Rowe sounding the alarm in the way that he has. Trade schools, we've seen anti-Semitism on campus. We've seen campus as a place of indoctrination. We've seen campus as a place where you can't get an education that's going to end up getting you a job to pay back your loans. Why aren't more?
Like Berkeley, you will not get a job if you graduate from Berkeley because they teach you stuff with Chinese Communist Party professors who ideologically teach you and train you to hate this country.
More people going into the trades.
Those people
Why are
will
there
not be
still
getting
so
jobs.
shortages? Is it something that the kids don't want to do?
Well, I think it's just something that they've never seriously considered because it hasn't been seriously presented to them. So I graduated high school in 2017. These were just not conversations we were having at that point. Trade schools, vocational schools were not a popular option going forward. Now it's become part of the conversation more and more. And actually, when I was on the campaign trail, I was always heartened to hear how many young people I was interviewing who did go to vocational schools or did.
See, the funny thing is, when I was going to high school, when I quit, we had a vocational school in Pensacola, Florida. I don't recall the name of it. They've since closed it down a couple of years after that. But they had a vocational school, and I was going to go to that and learn how to do welding and stuff like that. Had I done that, I'd have probably been better off in the direction that I took.
Go to training schools. But there are efforts underway to expand those offerings. Obviously, I think that's important. But there's also still a cultural taboo that you need to go to college to be successful and gain the skills that you need in our high-tech economy, et cetera. But part of what's going on is those types of majors like computer science, healthcare, that you think of more job-oriented are actually becoming more popular. But the question I have is, do you need a 4-year degree to learn how to code and to get the coding job that you want? I think that people are starting to think more creatively about this, and it's good. There should be different. I think Ford, for example, has a training program.
But you're talking about coding, which is different than the mechanic that the CEO of Ford is talking about here. And I'm just trying to understand and think about some of the things we talked about today. Taylor was talking about this anger in the Gen Z generation that both sides are rigged and that the system isn't working for them. And, you know, what is it about them that's rejecting this?
Well, part of Gen Z is not rejecting it, right? You've got some of Gen Z that's flocking to this new space. We've seen that in some of the data. And then you have some of Gen Z, I think in like urban areas, especially with like the rich liberal elites who are really rebelling against it. They don't want to go this way. So I almost don't want to speak about Gen Z monolithically. I think there's a big difference. But one of the problems, I'll just say this as a parent, because I have teenage kids, one of the challenges is the whole educational system is built to pave the way for your kids to go to college.
Yes.
The information is there. The schools put it right in front of your face. It's all set up. And I think that's brilliant by the people who want to perpetuate what's happening right now. I'm just saying, but if you want your kid to go a different direction, you just run into wall after wall. And I'm not in the trades, so I don't know how to navigate that well. I really need help for somebody to show me that. But schools don't want to do that. And Mike Rowe calls it.
Schools are supposed to listen to the parents at the PTA meetings. Parents need to step up, go to those meetings. Parents don't do that. They leave it up to government. The government decided they wanted us to have dumb kids. Now we have dumb kids.
A dignity of work problem. Go to a high school graduation and see who's on stage. And ask yourself, the people getting the awards, are any of them going into plumbing or electric or auto mechanic or HVAC or anything? Answer, no.
No.
It's the people getting scholarships to four-year schools. And so when that's who's rewarded, then that dictates who pursues that path.
Right.
And it's not the best and the brightest because they think to get a pat on the back, they have to get a scholarship to a four-year school.
Megan?
With respect to Mike Rowe, all of this is changing, and it's changing because of families and because of young people. Because those families and those young individuals are smart enough to know I am not spending that money to go to a four-year school, and I'm not going to get out with a degree that is, one, valuable, certainly not worth what a family would pay for it, certainly not worth borrowing all that money, and it's certainly not valuable to me as a person. It is not, those degrees, those experiences very often in college are not rewarding beyond like, yay, party. You get to rush. That's the biggest reason I hear people talking about going to places like Bama is, oh, I got to rush
Well, and so their parents can go to a good football game, which is what I'm excited for.
That's an expensive way to watch football.
Can we talk about parents?
But it's not.
for a second?
But it's not. But it's not valuable. It's not a valuable experience, and it's not a valuable degree. And I wanted to point to some enrollment data. So undergraduate enrollment has gone up 3 years in a row. It's up about 2%, but graduate enrollment is flat. But if you look at overall college enrollment, dig into a 2-year school and you go down to the 2-year school and mechanic and repair technologies and technicians majors in those 2-year schools, that enrollment is up more than 10%. Mm-hmm. That's where people are going.
That's great.
It's also where the money is.
Right.
You can just make a lot of money going into these trades. There's high demand for it. You can become a business owner. It's a clear path towards starting your own business, striking out, or just making a lot of money working for somebody else. But I think right now, especially to your point, like you get this 4-year degree, and at the end of it, it's becoming more difficult to cash in right away. So
while enrollment's up, I feel like people aren't flocking to it the way I think they should be. And I go back to this notion of parents that you bring up because.
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't have kids, but I do know for a fact it takes about 6 months to get good at welding. And if you're good at welding and you want to do it and you can get a job and you can get your own equipment, within 2 years, you can be your own subcontract welder working for yourself by what would have been your second year of college. So by your 4th year of college, you'll have had your business for 2 years, probably making as much money a year as the college student spends on college a year. That much I do know.
Because my mom has said, and I went to college 27 years ago, that she would take the money that she spent on my private school education in college, invest it in the S&P, and tell me to go do a trade and start a business.
2 super fights for the ages.
It is a big fight field in New York City, baby.
Yes. But she says that. She says she's evolved, Taylor. Yes. Is she really? Because if we had that conversation today, would she say to me, that's what you should do, or are you crazy?
Yeah. Anyhow, enough about that one. Now, let's, everyone likes the state of Hawaii. You guys like Hawaii? I had a personal experience with Hawaii. I went there to work in 2019. I left Christmas or New Year's Day, got back to Oakland Airport as they were singing, bless the holiday, blah, 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 blah. Because it was New Year's. It was like midnight when I landed. I didn't get my paycheck for 2 months. Totally illegal. I called the department in Washington of, some worker department. I was told who to call. And they said, you have to call the Hawaiian Department of Labor. That's what it's Department of Labor. So I called the Department of Labor in Hawaii. And I told them, I said, hey, this is a violation of this specific rule, law, regulation, blah, blah, blah. That's shadow. And they said, yeah, it is. And we're not going to pursue it. Have a nice day. So what the federal government did to me personally was they said they were going to allow the Hawaiians to commit felonies against me, and they didn't care. And that's a fact. And now I'm going to show you a story that validates the same experience I had. This is Hawaiian news.
Urging leaders to investigate a mystery law legislator accused of accepting a bribe. Our chief investigative reporter, Lynn Kawano, says 2 representatives in particular have been trying to get answers for months.
Since May, the representatives have been unsuccessful in getting the Attorney General, Ethics and Spending Commissions to do something. Now they're looking to their colleagues for action.
Letter after letter, Democrat Dela Al-Baladi and Republican Kanani Souza have been pushing for clarity on a corruption case that already sent 2 of their former colleagues to federal prison. Baladi started in May after learning that a 3rd, unnamed, influential state legislator was involved.
The feds are not going to prosecute a state crime
That is for our state law enforcement to do.
Bellotti first wrote to acting U.S. Attorney Ken Sorensen, asking him to immediately provide the appropriate agencies with the identity and investigative reports about that legislator who allegedly accepted $35,000 in an FBI operation. Bellotti said state authorities must be given the opportunity to clean up corruption within the ranks, especially if that public official continues to hold elected office. Bellotti feared the Hawaii statute of limitations would expire. 2 months later, on July 20th, this letter was sent to Hawaii Attorney General Ann Lopez and the executive directors of the Campaign Spending and Ethics Commissions, saying Bellotti had met with Sorensen, who said if there were state law enforcement officials interested in these reports, a request could be made directly to his office and or the FBI. Attorney General Ann Lopez did not reach out to the FBI. Instead, in her response to the representatives, she said her office is ready, able, and willing to assist the feds in the public corruption investigations should the federal prosecutor reach out to her.
We have seen the state attorney general's office aggressively litigate against other people who have violated state campaign finance laws and state ethic laws. So it's very disappointing to see the letter from the attorney general saying that essentially she was going to wait and just wait on whether a federal investigation is appropriate.
I was surprised that nothing was being done at the time, but it also reiterated the fact that it is upon the Hawaii State Legislature to take action and to take control of the situation if no other state agency was currently doing their due diligence.
A petition on change.org acknowledged the lack of interest agency leaders have shown in investigating and therefore calls on the legislature to hold public hearings. The petition has not yet been sent to the Capitol, but there has already been pushback by some lawmakers, causing a rift at the Capitol.
Talk about corruption. That state is full of corruption. Big time. That's why I'll never go back to that state. They are so tourist orientated and financial gain. In other words, everyone makes money off tourists, and if you can find a new scam to make money off a tourist, the state doesn't care because it benefits them, because that tourist is going to fly back to the mainland and they don't have no recourse at that point in time. It's a guaranteed you can fuck the tourist, and they do frequently, and it's disgusting what Hawaii does, and they do need to be straightened out, and there does need to be lots of federal investigations on Hawaii. It is one of the most corrupt. It's almost as corrupt as Ukraine. And Ukraine has several international war crimes investigations going on against it before the Russian war started. That's how evil that country is. Yeah, and Thailand is you can buy anything you want, and I mean anything. And the same thing's true in Hawaii. It just costs more. So she's 100% correct, shovel monkey. And it's disgusting. It's America, and it's allowed to happen. It's appalling in my perspective. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one short. I appreciate everyone coming in. I just had all those different news stories from different areas that hit yesterday. I was like, damn, dude, I got to get this stuff out. So, yeah, again, do your own diligence. We have SWIFT 2.0. ISO 222, it's probably sometime around this November 22nd. It's going to be engaging. You got silver and platinum, both going to rage. Almost. Okay, this stock right here, it's going down right now. It's going to go back up. It's working through some problems. I suggested buying it like a year ago, but then I told people after it got over 100, I was like, I wouldn't invest in it. It's too expensive. So keep an eye on that one. If it goes down more, it'd be worth it. If not, unless you got a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, so over $100 stock's a lot for me. I would look into that one. Let's see which ones. Stocks. Okay, I got that one. Okay, yeah, those ones are good ones. I'll keep an eye on those. The CLRMF, I'd get that one for future dividend payback. NNE, future dividends, and it's going to go sky. It's going to be the Berkshire Hathaway of the nuclear energy market, in my opinion. And the other two are just penny stocks that are going to go up for profit margin. Okay. Anyhow, I wanted to have that down on the live stream, so that way it's recorded. And I said it because I like seeing how much I'm right. Anyhow, you guys have a nice night. Talk to you later. Have a great week.